think we are live, yes.
Yeah, we are alive.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
In many ways.
Good.
Yeah.
So, welcome to another update of KTMR Micro-Rotor Tourbillon things. All things Tourbillon.
I think we are live, yes.
Yeah, we are alive.
Hello, everybody. So we are
hello,
live here to
everybody.
bring many ways.
Good.
Yeah.
Don't get confused. So, welcome to another
Yeah,
update.
good?
So, no, because you will hear yourself 10 seconds late. Then everybody is super confused. We know that problem.
Absolutely.
Computer
We're here
problems.
with
Computer
some-
problems, like always.
Always computer problems. Keep us on our toes.
Yeah, so where's our agenda? I bring the agenda up here. What are we talking about today?
There we go.
Dave is in Glasgow, as our subtitles say here.
Roving reporter.
And we have someone new. We probably should do an introduction here, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that? Or do you want to say that I'm Christina?
Yeah, you've got the names. You've got the names in the wrong order.
Okay.
But
Okay.
we have Andi, obviously, in Beale, as everyone who watches these will know, and we have Jonas, who joined us in the last episode as well. But all new with us, we have Christina. Christina being new to the team, who is going to be delivering some high quality content, which is probably going to be slightly more professional than we are, but we're looking forward to seeing the content that Christina can bring to us, whether that be video or on our social media channels as well. So expect some top quality content coming your way over the coming weeks. So yes, welcome to the team, Christina. It's
Thanks,
a bit of a
Dave.
madhouse, but I'm sure you'll fit right in.
Thank you.
Where do you come from?
From Germany, but located in Switzerland.
Good. From Bodensee somewhere,
Yeah,
I guess.
the very south
Yeah.
in Bavaria, right at Lake Constance.
Yeah, they don't call you Swabians.
My dialect is Swabian,
Yeah, okay.
so I'm a crossbreed between
Yeah.
Swabian and Bavarian.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a nice mix.
Yeah, super nice to have you on board. And as said, we want to turn ourselves into a YouTube channel, and she is the expert in doing so, and need to market these guys because that's necessary to say, do good and talk about it. It's not
Right.
just do good stuff. Let's jump into our showing off of what's on the table here. But before we have
Absolutely.
probably something else to talk about, because you have spent some time in London. It was not, a little bit sad.
Yeah,
Everybody
so-
knows.
Yeah, as we mentioned a few lives ago, sadly, Brian Griffin, who an ambassador for us and we've worked with very closely over the last year, sadly, unexpectedly had passed away, and his funeral came up at the start of this week. So we went along just to pay our respects as Brian was laid to rest. And after that, we are also moving into our new atelier. So we will be using the pictures that Brian so professionally took for us last year when he was over in Beale. So we are just in the process of planning to get a selection of Brian's favourites of those photos printed to be put on display in our new atelier. So here's some examples on the screen that are the pictures that Brian took, but we luckily have his list of his favourites. So amongst those favourites, we're going to be using those to display on the wall as a memory also to Brian.
Yeah.
So sad
mafia
state of
guys.
affairs, but yeah, there we go.
We had so much fun with Brian. It's
Absolutely.
unbelievable. We need to have a good laugh here. Yeah, he probably wouldn't want us to be sad. And where do we have another GIF here? Do we have another GIF for Brian? No, I didn't open that one. But anyhow, I will never forget when he was drinking beer in our house, and it was the good old Tegernsee beer. And he said to me, "You know how we call that in England? It's called disco piss." And we were laughing our asses off and continued to drink that beer. So that's something I will never forget. The disco piss thing was insane. And probably next time when we publish some of these pictures, we will also publish some private pictures which we took in the garden, and there are
nice.
some really nice pictures there from this last
Yeah.
his last big trip. The designer is leaving the room here. Thomas was just around.
Yeah. It was just, great to see these pictures, and it will be even better to see them. Ravi, who assisted Brian on the photo shoot with all of the lighting and props, etc., he's actually going to be developing the prints properly, kind of doing them as you would do them traditionally. So he is in the process of getting those ready for us, and we will have them up in display in the coming weeks. So we'll be sure to post and share some pictures once they are actually up on the wall. So yeah, some fabulous pictures to come. But then, within the agenda, we move on to the exciting news about the Autark Tourbillon. Last episode, we shared with you the news of the case arriving, or the first prototype case, and the first prototype bracelet arriving. And Jonas has done it.
Yeah.
It breathes, it lives, it ticks, it does things. The very first prototype of the movement is alive. And before we get to show you the pictures of it, maybe a little bit of background as to how this came around.
Yes.
So Andi and the
me.
slides.
Okay, I'm here. Okay, that the stuff we last time showed. Yeah, there was a bracelet also. I have it here also, and the case that was coming in the last show. And how did actually the movement come together? Just for the ones who didn't know that, we have basically 3 movements. K1, K2 and K Tourbillon, which is a hand-wound movement. Everybody who owns one knows that. And since we are lazy people and don't want to wind movements and watches, we merged them into the KTMR, which means K Tourbillon Micro-Rotor movement. So that's pretty much the background of that whole thing. Overall, we conceptualized that from the beginning, just to make that a little bit bigger. Here's Dave, Dave, you have the 2, I'm just on the fly doing that thing here now,
Here we can see.
So you see the 2 different movements in
program.
reality, and you see them here on the drawing, and that's basically a blend of both. The Tourbillon was there before the K2, but we actually considered during the design process that this should have a Tourbillon. That was from the beginning considered. And
I'm sure Jonas will be able to give us a bit of information about the difficulties, because obviously, as you can see here, you have the Tourbillon, which takes up quite a considerable area of the movement. And you can see that has to fit into this Micro-Rotor area, and there's not a lot of space to do it. So hopefully Jonas can give us some information about that as we go on. So that's the background. Now on to the exciting reveal, Andi.
Wait, I need to make you smaller again here. Good.
There we go.
So
now, before anyone gets upset or exercised, this is very much an engineering prototype, so no finishing and no kind of prettiness to this. This is very much an engineering part as well.
So that's something you put together on Saturday, yeah? So when that happened, we were here, and on Saturday Jonas was here. That's your preferred day of the week actually to do stuff, I guess.
It's the non-disturbed day.
Yeah. That's the time where you can really work on things, and you put together that thing, but at this time it was not working yet.
No, for once we were faster with the milling parts, and we had to wait for our turning and gear cutting part. I was not preparing them because I thought we are slower with the milling parts, but they did a hell of a job. We did all the milling parts externally, building up 2 new milling part supplier, and then Jörg and Spent had the job to deliver the missing parts within 2 days.
2 days. So well done, by the way, Jörg and Spent, to get this thing here. Shall I put it under that thing before we want to look at pictures? We want to see the real stuff, I guess.
Maybe we can see the real one.
Yeah, wait, I just want to see if. So that's how it looks from the front, and then.
Yeah, and also in this picture, as you can see, one of the most important things, it actually does fit in the case.
It does fit in the case, definitely. Not always the case. Sometimes it doesn't fit. But in that case, it goes. It seems to go pretty smooth, yeah. So now I need to change into Black Magic. So here it is. Yeah, our friends are here. I don't know if the donor of this
Who is who?
is also here, Arthur. I don't know. And so there, you know, and it's turning. Right, reflection problem here.
Yeah, there you can see the tourbillon cage.
Yeah, I will put it on another camera here. Heads up. Run smoothly, yeah. Not just, it's turning. And it's winding also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fully functional.
Yes. The two of the axes are coming directly from the machine.
Yeah.
Jörg delivered it this lunch. So we put in not hardened, fresh from the machine axes, not even proper cleaned. Put it into the movement and it started running, and it runs well. So it's running in the amplitude we were expecting. So that means we are on a super high level already with the first prototype.
What do you...
Which is obviously great news that this is running as well as the plans were expected.
What do you need to do next?
The point is to reach this milestone, to reach the first prototype which is running is always an unknown territory. So we're gonna build 12 prototypes, or we have parts for 12 prototypes.
Yeah.
We're gonna build up. The plan was to have a few prototypes running, but we are so far already with the quality of the parts and the function is there that we're gonna go with, I think, 5 prototypes decorated, 5 prototypes for performance tests, and then we're gonna have within the next 8 to 10 weeks we're gonna have the results we're looking for: performance, power, amplitude, shock resistancy. And as soon as we see that all the performance points which we want to see are there, we're gonna produce the series. So no time to waste going forward.
More stuff.
Yeah, riches.
Lots of parts.
Lots of parts.
And obviously, the great news in this, without wanting to tempt fate, is we have got ourselves slightly ahead of the curve, which is great news, obviously, for all of those customers that have entrusted their orders to us for these watches. I think we're well over 100 now, Andy, as well.
127.
Yeah, I think we're 127
You said I need
orders,
to get
exactly.
my numbers right. But that's a good thing.
You're not wrong.
Dave, every day when there's an order coming in, we get an updated list. And the best thing is when this online shops says, nice, you just got an order. And then it makes us happy. And please tell everybody that it's worth to support us, because then we can do more video, we can do more watches, we can do more stuff. And that's good for all of us.
Yeah.
Hey.
And I think it definitely is worth saying that, you know, with those customers, those early adopters who very much entrusted their orders to us and their money to us on something that we knew we would get there, but didn't exist in the real world quite at that point. And within a very short period, Jonas and all of the team have managed to get to this stage now where we have a working movement and a case and a bracelet. I think the next part that should arrive is, Sue was saying, the dials should arrive hopefully within the next month. So we should have some sample dials. So it will very much begin to start looking like a watch.
It's crazy. I mean,
Yes.
I just want to say that again, that we that we did that. Tell me one brand on this planet who can pull this off in this time and then offer it to a price where people can effectively afford it. And that's also something probably people do wonder why. I'm always getting asked, why can we make, let's say, well-priced product like this? Because we put, you look at that, this is an industrial engineering exercise right now where we really go into the tech first. We are only able to do this in this time frame because we have laid the foundation more than 10 years in a row. You standardizing our components, standardizing screws, standardizing pins, standardizing everything which can be standardized so that we can share these parts across movements. And because of that, we do not start from zero, and it's a relatively high predictability. We can close in on a project like this, and we can risk it in such an early stage. I'm always probably more optimistic when it comes to shipping. Everyone said, nah, don't say it too early, but I know what we have done. There's probably a difference between me and some other people. I'm in this project since the beginning, 2008, even before you. So I after a while you can estimate what's possible and what's not possible. And we see that the supplier, which kept us from doing faster things during this COVID time, now the market loosens up. There's more capacity. We also changed our strategy. We actively said we are going out to people, helping them to make these parts based on our knowledge, our measuring quality control equipment, and together with the supplier we build this knowledge into a factory in order to have more options, and that gives us the speed for making new products, and obviously also working on the price, because at the end of the day this will be an amazing watch to own, and you want to, could we charge more? Perhaps, I don't know. But do we want more people to own something like this? Yes, because they will show it to others and they will have fun doing so, and then more people probably decide to also buy one from us and support our whole story. So that's basically the whole thing behind it.
I think it's the perfect product which sums up our strength.
Yeah.
Combining the system which we built up over the last 12 years, our culture to go out, working with suppliers, within partnerships, working with family companies. That's where the speed is coming from. And this sick time over the last year where everybody was hunting deadlines because of the catch up after COVID, it's a bit more relaxed now, and everybody's open to go new ways, and it was the perfect time. The last few months took us 10 weeks.
By the way, last time we also showed that.
Just one good thing to say. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So I did the whole prototype story was pretty much pushed by myself.
Yeah.
The team was taking care of all the other stuff of building, organization,
keeping the company going. Yeah,
keeping everything going. And now is the time to get the people involved, get into pre-assembling processes, getting into decoration stuff.
How many parts do you think, I mean, you probably didn't count them, but how many parts do you think are there already from our regular production run? So all stones, all screws, all pins.
Is there, huh?
80% of the parts of the key, the winding mechanism.
Structural parts.
Yeah.
I think three wheels, a few axles.
Yeah.
The structural parts that was the big story for these movements now. And it's important if you do an engineering project like this that you bring in the further development, everything which you learned needs to go. It needs to flow into these products. So we learned a lot about the efficiency of the gear train, which we bring in now. We learned.
Does anybody hear that?
Oh, I can hear it.
You hear it, eh? We cannot hear it, but it makes noise.
Tourbillon noise is always.
It's so much fun. You know, I mean, this product, this is the stuff you need when you work in a big corporate company and you have a lot of shit meetings. And you look at that watch and say, keep going. It's the distractor, the maximum distractor. No,
And I think we shouldn't.
Yeah.
We shouldn't underestimate the amount of work that Jonas and the team have put into making this happen so quickly. As much as we joke that we've got ahead of schedule, it's people like Jonas and Strent and many of the other guys in the team, and even the guys who are not directly involved in this right now, but who are keeping the general production of K2 and the standard tourbillon hand wind movement running, that allows this to happen, that allows Jonas to be freed up to do this. And very soon they'll be directly involved in starting to put together movements for customers' watches.
Next time somebody else is on this place just talking about the first step within industrialization of this movement.
Yeah.
We need to bring in the team.
Everybody. I mean, that's why we also called in Christina, because we decided to report more from the machine room, and that's what we want to do. And in the beginning, I mean, when we started the project, you just assign a person like Marcus and Pascal to make the first steps on making some drawings, and then everybody is getting a hands on it, and we launched also much faster than we planned. And the last year, people still remember Mission Independence kind of thing, because we thought it must be faster, and it's worth to pull sometimes a project forward. That is also, I mean, we are dependent on a high pace, because as a brand which is operating direct, as a company which is a little bit smaller, we need to keep a relatively high pace. We cannot sit back and say, let's wait for 2 years or 3 years until something's happening. We're living from a cash pile. No, that's not the case. Yeah, I'm pretty intrigued by that thing here turning, So proud.
Yeah, it's very hypnotic.
And you know, it puts us really out of competition. The one thing I really don't worry about at all at the moment is competition on movement side, because there is nobody. It's out of competitive landscape. The only company who probably really could do that is Washer Manufacture.
It's for sale.
And then you can buy that. I mean, if somebody has a couple of 100 million extra cash, don't you have some extra cash? You can buy the company, and it will be super interesting to find out who will actually buy that company. You have any clue? You know so much, Dave. You are inside.
I say nothing.
Nothing. Okay, good. Wait.
But yeah, I think you're right. Tourbillon movements are already relatively rare within the fine watchmaking sphere. And a modern Micro-Rotor tourbillon version. No. Exactly. No. I think that's what I nearly said when we decided to launch this watch so early. How about no, let's do it next year? But no, we had to do it, and we did it. And I must admit, I'm super happy to see this living and breathing, because as we know, some people don't quite believe what you tell them until they see something real. And I hope for many people who've maybe been waiting just to see if it's something that will really exist, this is the proof. Not just some metal parts that look like a movement, but a living, breathing movement right in front of your eyes.
Your wife is leaning in here. Nikki, we hear you. Yes, go far, go together. That's how it should be. Philip also from Washington. Great work as always. Yeah, we are seeing you in Washington this year. Already agreed, I guess. It's good to see people here.
Yes, we are working on the travel plans.
That's your job.
Yes, Philip, we will be in the US, I believe, in not too distant future, and we will be back later in the year as well. So 2 trips planned to the US this year. So anyone who's watching this, whether live or after the fact. We will be in the US a couple of times in 2024. So if you want to see any of our watches in person, that will be the time to do it.
Why do I have here display? Oh, now it's gone.
Oh. So I think then moving along from this, and next in the agenda.
And one more thing, I have one more question to Jonas. Your main uncertainty was the hardness of the mainspring. And what do you say now? Do you know already read the anchor or not?
No, but we need to see over 10, 15 movements where we stay.
Yeah.
And then we define if we need a new hairspring, but it's looking super promising. Already Pascal is happy. So we are not far away from the...
So that's actually the long spring,
solution.
yeah? That's the main spring being wound by the rotor, then going through the gear train until it arrives at the escapement.
We have the same hairspring as K2.
Yeah.
And the Tourbillon is consuming a bit more energy.
Yeah.
But we were working on all the parts. We are super efficient. Pascal and Marcus did a great job on the gear train together with Florian. So let's see if it's necessary to have a new winding mainspring.
If not, we save a lot of money.
Yeah, and speed.
Yeah.
We speed up. Standardized stock always helps.
Okay, so then we are moving on. I think that was a good thing to see everything.
So yeah, that I think that covers most of the updates for the Autark Tourbillon. And as we announced on the last live, a kind of little brother, little sister to the Autark Tourbillon is the all-new Autark K2.
There it goes.
The Autark K2. We have so far only launched one special edition, that being the Chinese New Year 2024 Year of the Wood Dragon edition, which launched just over a week ago and has been doing rather well so far. But this coming Tuesday, anyone who's not so keen on, say, on the red dial and wants something maybe more subtle or maybe more traditional, should be keeping their eye on their emails and on the website, as the two standard models, shall we call them, ones that will be available for a longer period, both in the salmon dial and in the gradient grey dial, will be adding to the range and will be made available for sale this coming Tuesday at 2 o'clock CET time.
And why do we do
Both
that?
of these, we do this because
we can.
Why don't we not do it?
Because we can.
We have the case, we have the bracelet,
and
we have the movement.
Yes, and we want to make sure that there's a replacement for that kind of thing, face green for that, because that was the original Autark, my beloved watch in white, and that's such a good watch, and it carries the K1 movement inside, and so we need to make sure that there's a continuation. You are gone, Dave. Where are you? Oh, you are gone. Okay,
Dave is
I'll
still
come
here.
back here. Yeah, we wanted to make sure that there's something in the price level where people can enjoy that look of the watch, but they probably do not have the pockets right now to spend it on a Tourbillon, but they can have a similar watch from the looks point of view. Yeah, that's why we do that.
Yeah, absolutely, because as much as the Autark Tourbillon is an extremely good value proposition as a watch, let's not kid ourselves on, it's still a pretty expensive watch for many, many people. And this allows people to have a very similar, really good quality Micro-Rotor watch for a much more accessible price point. And if you don't like holes in the dial, if Tourbillon's not your thing, maybe the K2 is. So the original Autark watch is probably, outside of maybe the Super Seed GMT, probably our most popular model to date. So having a modern version of that in the titanium, as the Autark has always been, but with the newer case, the new bracelet, the new micro-adjust clasp, and of course that new generation K2 movement is probably what many people have been crying out for.
And if you want to change to a Tourbillon later, you already have the case.
That is something we could think about.
Change over.
It's something for you to think about, Dave.
Movement transplants.
Didn't
Movement
Hublot do that
transplants
for?
is the future.
Hublot did that on smartwatch module swapping
was,
into a mechanical watch. I think. No,
That
Hublot
was
did that.
Tag Heuer.
Tag Heuer did that. Yeah. But we are swapping a cool thing with an even cooler thing.
Exactly. We're not changing electrics for mechanical. We are changing mechanical for even fancier mechanical.
Okay, so I think we are good for today, eh? Was a nice
Yep, I
live
think
as
that sums it
always,
up,
and
so-
super exciting to see that thing.
Yeah.
It's
And please do reach out to us, lostintime@horage.com if you have any questions, if you want to talk to us a bit more about the project. If you're not sure and have any questions, definitely drop us an email or drop us a direct message on Instagram, and we can always get back to you with any answers that you're after.
any questions which we didn't answer? No, it looks good.
I think we look good. Just Philip knows that we will be in contact to arrange some dates for a little club meetup with him
Yeah.
and his fellow watch friends. So yep, outside that, please do reach out if you have any questions. Dinner time.
There he goes. Arthur's alarm clock. He wasn't there today. I'll be angry with him.
No, time for dinner.
Okay, good. So you go to the kids and we go to the dinner and you drive home with the train as far as I know.
Right.
Then I press the end broadcast button. Bye bye.
Bye.
Fantastic.